Okay, we are live. Welcome on in. I am jumping back into Stalker 2 today. I did consider continuing in Ready or Not. I will eventually continue in Ready or Not. But I was really in the mood to keep playing this, so I have gone ahead and jumped back in. I did play a bit off stream. I think one of my current artifacts I got off stream. I also got myself a Sega 12 to replace the sledgehammer off stream. And otherwise, I spent my time basically collecting stashes, making money. I did accidentally get involved in one mission off stream. I had the mission and I kind of wandered too close to the area. So that's my bad. I did do one, side mission off stream. It wasn't a main quest, but I did do a side quest off stream. Mea culpa. My bad. But I am looking forward to returning to the main quest this evening. I have left myself, I believe, in Rostock. And so I am going to hop back into the game while we, as usual, wait for my coffee to cool. I know that'll be shocking to the many of you who have literally never been here. Because otherwise, the coffee's important. It warms up my voice, it gets caffeine to my brain. My brain appreciates that. Generally quits its bitchin' when caffeine's involved. Or at least complains more quietly, one of the two. Come on, there we are. Okay. We are fully repaired. We have 450,000 coupons. I was trying to remember what the unit was. We have a Sega 12D with a I think I've fully upgraded it. Unless there's something that needs a blueprint that I just haven't gotten to, but otherwise, fully upgraded. I have a magic cube, which I may or may not have had. I think I did have last stream, and then I got the hyper cube, I think, off stream. Liquid rock is fucking amazing. The weird ball is great, and the devil's mushroom, despite having radiation and despite not being in a lead-shielded container, has such powerful positive effects that the amount of radiation resistance I already have is high enough. Pardon me. That I went ahead and put it in anyway, because even getting constantly irradiated, I have enough radio protection that it's not touching me. Otherwise, my armor and my sniper rifle and my pistol are the same, as is my artifact detector, so we should be good to go. Okay. I was artifact hunting. I think I will snag this stash on the way to the next main mission, but let's go ahead and hit that next main mission. God, I don't know if this is a monitor issue, if I can turn up the brightness on this monitor. It's entirely possible. I would have to check. But I was playing this on my big TV in the other room earlier, when I was playing off stream, and it is so much less dark. You know what? Honestly, let me. I think I'm gonna 100% the brightness. Hoping that it doesn't blind me during the day, but No, that's too fucking bright. Damn it. Let's go like 90. God, it's still like a fucking whiteout at the edges of the screen. I don't know what the difference is, honestly, between this and my other... Besides, my TV in the other room is much nicer than this monitor. Which could be it. I couldn't break down the technical aspect of that, but... This was a relatively inexpensive monitor. Let's go for 80. This is what everyone tunes in for, right? Is technical fiddling. Okay. So we move our way through Rostock. I still haven't installed any mods, even though I really desperately want to find one that's just like triple brightness flashlight. That's all. Also maybe widen the FOV on the flashlight by like a little. Okay, where is the poltergeist? Is it up the ladder? Because I've passed by this one a few times, and I don't know where the poltergeist actually is. But I kind of want to not have to deal with it going through the town, and maybe it just... Or maybe it's a poltergeist. Okay. Cool. Okay, anything else? On we go. Oh, son of a bitch. This area is infested with fucking Psy zombies, as I recall. This door to my left up here had so many pour out of there at one point. Oh, the other things I did off stream, I got a couple of achievements. One for stealth killing 20 people, and one for getting a headshot while hip firing at 70 meters or more, which is a fucking stupid achievement, but I got in like 5 or 6 shots with my sniper rifle, so whatever. Okay. Rats, huh? Get absolutely destroyed. Okay. My physical protection is fucking amazing, which is why I can afford to do that. Though, admittedly, I'm sure I'm shredding my armor and costing myself more, though also I have increased durability, so eh. Gotta say, though, swarms of rats, not my favorite enemy in the game. Now let's get the fuck out of town, huh? I'm hoping that's daylight breaking. Ow. Fortunately, my bleed resistance is high enough that I basically instantly stop bleeding as soon as I'm out of one of those. So I take a little bit of damage walking through, but I don't get the damage over time that is generally correlated with that. sure about that? That was one of two, I believe. Neither of whom dropped an organ for me. Or a tentacle, I guess. Gun anywhere? Not with ammo I can use, but ammo I can either stash or sell. Works for me. It'd be great if the fucking sun came up. Though it's also overcast, so unclear how much help that's gonna be. Okay. 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 Interesting. This is yet another reason it would be very handy if it was fucking daytime. My sister and her girlfriend are watching Xanadu through the wall behind me. I'm just catching bits and pieces of the soundtrack. I don't think that'll register on the mic, but let me know if it does. Doesn't look like it. Okay. Hope it's not a problem. Because you know what I can do about it if it is? Not much. Pretty sure I'd die, because I'm pretty sure I've tried this. Well, didn't mean to do that. Thought I had solid ground to stand on. Evidently not so much. Okay, I will say, this game, very good. The loading times in this game? Oh, are you fucking kidding me? It didn't autosave. Once. Okay, restarting stream 14 minutes in. Fuck me. Alright, god damn it. Oh, never fucking mind then, huh? Okay. 800 meters of open ground. Let's do it again. So I'm down a poltergeist organ that I don't get to sell, but other than that, didn't lose much but time. Okay. Pushing up. So what's happened in my personal life recently, you ask? He said, staring at an empty chat room. I have finished up The Expanse Book 6. I'm moving on to Book 7 either tonight or tomorrow morning. I'll be working tomorrow, but if it's hot enough, maybe slower in the afternoon. So, hopefully, I'll have a little time to read on the clock. Obviously, I get, whatever work needs to be done first, but in a customer service position, there's kind of a limited amount you can do when everything's stocked and you don't have customers. Okay, so back up to the fucking hill. And before we do anything, we're gonna save. Lest something foolish and tragic happen. Okay. New plan. If I'm right, if I hug the central pole, I assume it leads down to water. If I drop straight into water, I may survive. Unless, of course, I hit something on the way down. Fortunately, someone was smart enough to save this time, so I'm good. I do feel dumb for not saving the first time, but I slipped, which happens. And I'm used to the autosaves in this game actually being pretty good generally, so I don't know what was up with that. If you've wrecked your reputation with the faction and have no intention of greasing the leader's palms, gear up for war. That's interesting, because I'm opposed to the ward at the moment, but as far as I can tell, that's just a story thing. You pick one or the other, and I went with Stalkers over ward. Okay, so there is water at the bottom. It's also far too shallow to do anything. Noted. Remember the thing I said about the loading times? There we go. Alright. Noted. For now, we head towards the main mission. In the probably vain hope that whatever's making those large mutant sounds is not coming from that direction. He said, pulling out his shotgun. Okay. Anything on the roof? Besides possibly anomalies based on the beeping. Pretty sure I've been on this roof. Pretty sure I didn't really want to return. Okay. Got 14 meters down. Hopefully this leads into the same system that has the stash in it. I guess the other positive of the long setback was that I didn't burn 2 grenades and blow myself up twice. Okay. Ow. Interesting, I wonder if that's the way out. Okay. You should turn your flashlight on. It is on. Okay. Why? For what purpose? Okay. Well, I don't see anything I can shoot. So let's try this. No idea if that had any effect on anything. Maybe we find out later. I didn't get the impression that anything happened, but... Okay. Anything of note? Heracles. Okay. Get below Apropos. Or Apropos. Fuck's sake. Well, that was embarrassing. Okay. 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 Any weapons? Not seeing. Oh, there we are. Gotta say, local wildlife doesn't seem too friendly. Speak of the devil. I'm sure that there's like a way you're supposed to deal with those, but fragging myself seems to work. And if it looks stupid and works, it ain't stupid. Usually. Okay. Abandoned stash. Nearby, by the bridge. Okay, cool. Noted. I will snag that on my way out, probably. I gotta say, having the eerie sort of atmosphere of this game in my right ear, and literally Xanadu in my left, albeit distorted through a wall, is causing a little cognitive dissonance. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's right, I got the key card from the hunter? I don't remember his specific thing. I love controllers. Fuck me. Guess I'll just use this bandage on my psychic damage. Plan roboty? Is that just work plan? I will be taking your guts, thank you very much. Okay. to the lower level. Research the lab. Okay, I know you're supposed to do research in labs. Generally, you don't research the lab itself. Okay. Worth a shot. Okay, so we can go down. In fact, there are a number of elevators that presumably do go down. No idea where that controller got off to. In fact, you know, now seems like a good time for some coffee. Yep, definitely was. They loved Jenga, the monsters. Okay. Okay. Presumably that yellow indicates forward. This, of course, I have to get a generator up and running first. Okay, probably some food there, but probably also not our way forward. Unless, of course, I can pry those doors. Okay, no effect. Okay, again. What just squished? Okay. Something's hostile, but I don't see whatever it is, and I don't recognize that sound as being one that a particular enemy makes. I guess further down. I've researched the lab, apparently. Oh, well, I was right about the generator anyway. Still don't know what that sound is. Still find it somewhat squelchy and disquieting. Alright. Bring them on. Prefer that to all this waiting around. And yes, I know the line is sneaking around, for the record. Okay. Again, whatever that squishing sound is, not a fan. It's not better when it's closer. Find the papers for Sherba. Got those. Okay. Okay. I've found a very radioactive bathroom. Definitely found a few of those in my time. Okay. Sure, that's a controller. Translation, they built them here. Not random mutations, but science projects.
Треба заборонити лаборантам на об'єкті навіть торкатися будь-яких паперів у пункті керування. От минулого тижня знову хтось виніс посібник з роботи з придушувачем, чим поставив запланований експеримент під загрозу зриву. І це далеко не перший випадок недбалого поводження з документацією проєкту X. Наполегливо прошу вжити...
We need to address the matter, and therefore we're killing anyone who mishandles things. Probably. Nothing else of value when I turned the generators on. Doesn't look like it. Oh, good. Okay. Come on. I think this area is generally in the direction that I want to be going for the, fuck's sake. Oh, good pseudo dogs. Oh, you're sticking around this time, I see. Could I be using the side block? Yeah, probably. Should I be using the side block? Also, yeah, probably. Shit. Alright, where's that damn controller? Found him. I like that it's piece of a controller's brain, not controller's brain. So I'm selecting like a lobe and going with that. Okay. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, etc. Okay. Yeah, felt like it. Just to double check. Pretty sure we're good. And out we go. Fuck me. Well, that doesn't actually help me much, now does it? Yeah, this feels structurally sound.
Браття, шукаю укриття. Прикрийте, браття.
Again, eating to lose weight doesn't really seem to make sense to me, but it works, so we take it.
Я відчуваю тебе, враже.
Really thought I had that lead right. Starting to think this is actually the way forward. I was thinking this was a side passage. I may have to actually go back for the side passage.
Не дайте йому піти, браття! Щось не так.
Okay. It's making me think the stash is over this way. Okay. I'm running out of ways to lower weight. Oh, good, that looks safe. Grenade or shotgun? Grenade. Okay. Unique gun, huh? Guess I'm just gonna be overloaded. Strelok's PDA? Okay, that's cool. For those who don't know, Strelok was from the original games. This is why we check the side routes. Okay. Now we push on in the direction we were supposed to.
Шукаю укриття. Нікому не сховатися від нас.
Jesus. I don't feel good about that.
Не дайте йому піти, браття. Спокійно, браття. Ворога не виявлено. Щось не так.
Sounds like at least one more. Based on the hostile reading on my compass, and also that.
Браття.
Okay.
Не дайте йому піти, браття.
Okay, still at least one more. One near the very top. I'm still getting serenaded by Xanadu. Actually, speaking of good music in movies, has anyone seen Sinners? Sinners is fucking amazing. If you have not seen it, I think it's on HBO right now. Really fucking good. Michael B. Jordan's in it twice. Haley Steinfeld's in there. Fucking... I don't remember the name of, like, the main guy. The main kid that it's based on is a fucking incredible singer. Like, he's a good guitarist, but he's a fucking amazing singer. The sad thing is I can't save through any of this. Okay. Oh. freaking out.
Звертайте увагу на спуски під землю. Нам треба буде
I gotta say,
знищити все,
not,
що може загрожувати голосу.
not a fan of this plan.
Виявлено спуск. Продовжуємо огляд. Моноліт покаже шлях.
Oh boy. I have a strong impression I'm gonna meet some resistance up here. I'm sorry, the voice of Faust?
Смерть ворогам моноліту.
Okay, that wasn't my grenade.
Ліквідувати всіх, браття.
I heard kill them all, which makes me think not just me. Fuck. Oh.
Нікому не сховатися від нас.
Okay, come on.
Браття, кидаю гранату.
Сучки. I got absolutely no visual on where I'm taking fire from. Where am I taking fire from? Fuck it. Let's go have a face-to-face conversation. Oh, look, it's a fucking bot in my chat trying to sell me viewers. Okay. I appear to be getting shot through the vehicle here. Yeah, okay, cool. So the game's glitched. Nice. I feel less bad about not being able to figure out where the fuck he was. Alright, hold on. Let me ban this fucking bot. Account created yesterday. Yep. How did I know? I said yesterday before I scrolled over to look. Account created yesterday. Okay, but where though? Fuck it. Making sure. When you phase through objects and can shoot randomly through entire trucks, yes, you get an extra bullet. Just to make sure. Okay. Okay. Now let's get that weight back under the red zone. And head home. And by home, I mean not there. I need to swing to Rostock. I'm gonna take a second and have some coffee. Okay. Probably put ourselves more than immediately below the limit. Better. Okay. Out we go, back to Rostock. Loop wide outside the city. I gotta say, there was an infinite weight mod that I saw when I was looking at all the mods, and I was like, it kind of takes some of the fun out of the game. But when I have to do inventory management after every minor excursion, I'm like, okay, I understand it's the point. You have to take what you need, and you can only carry what you can carry. You know, it's a survival game, generally. Counterpoint, I don't even necessarily want infinite weight, but like double weight would be fucking amazing. just double the multiplier for not only the weight of like your base weight, but any artifacts that then affect weight. Because infinite weight is boring, but like giving me a little more breathing room would be nice. Is it unrealistic? 100%. This motherfucker can already carry 50 kilos, like, without sweating it. That's not encumbered to skiff. So yes, I fully fundamentally understand that we are already operating in, I mean, effectively superhuman territory. But, still, I could be convinced to have double carry weight. Okay. Guess I'm going because the rat's not. Oh, there. Yeah? Fuck's sake. Genuinely my second least favorite enemy in the entire game, and that's only because the burrs can take your fucking weapons away without any cooldown. It's not even that they're small targets, because, like, that doesn't help. But there's just enough jank in their animation that they don't transfer their weight realistically, so I'm, like, anticipating a momentum that isn't there. Which means I often shoot in front of or behind it based on what I'm expecting. When it can, in fact, just turn on a dime, losing all momentum. And I'm also not 100% confident that the collision and hitboxes are the same for the leap attack. Because I definitely feel like I should have hit them in the air a few times, and just have had no effect on target. I could be wrong about that, but the jank in their animation, plus them being tiny, plus possibly some slightly broken things, make them generally a not fun enemy. Nah, I want to get wider around the city. I also wouldn't hate a stamina regen mod where it just regenerates twice as fast, because there's a lot of open ground to cover in this game, and I would like to be able to... I don't even know if infinite sprint, but like... Actually, that wouldn't be a bad way to do it, would be just like make sprint take no stamina, but then jumping and hitting stuff still does. So it's not a useless mechanic, but also it's not fucking annoying every time I want to go somewhere. I'm sure these and more are hidden away in the mods, but I'm really trying to, like, beat the game for the first time vanilla. I will surely, fuck with mods on my, like, offline playthrough that I will eventually do of this game again, because I really like it. Alright.
Нічого не скомпашне. Весела. Зараз від себе додам. Слухайте. Що про вас скаже себе?
Постійно.
Actually, you know, I realized it's not even just that, the weight limit feels restrictive, it's that I have the weight limit and can't fast travel. So if I could travel at, like, fast travel from anywhere at medium encumbrance, I think I would be totally fine. But specifically, the inability to fast travel mixed with the long distance I have to go mixed with the slow stamina regen just makes me feel like I'm playing a game that is being tedious rather than challenging. And I get that some people really like certain aspects of that challenge, but I'm just like, let me go to the fucking place, sell my shit, and continue playing the game, please. Because the inventory management is not the part I come for. I don't hate it, but, like, on the whole, wouldn't be my first choice. Okay. Sell all that shit.
Заходь.
Talk to the technician to patch me up.
Ну?
Jesus.
Принеси що-небудь цікаве.
Okay. God, do you think I have enough 545 by 39 ammo? I'm starting to get there. I am actually half tempted to slap a suppressor and a 45 round mag on the Spitfire I just picked up and swap it out in place of my shotgun, because that would give me 3 suppressed weapons, one of which would be excellent at close range. So, I don't know, maybe. That plus a, like, holographic sight up top or a red dot, I would think would make a pretty good setup. Okay. Oh, I tried to find that earlier, couldn't. So I'll snag that instead. But yeah, the limitation of basically I can only sprint if I keep up with my stamina, plus the weight limitation, plus the lack of a fast travel option that isn't like one base to another when the bases are so scattered in some places. And some of the bases are actively hostile depending on your gameplay choices, where you have to choose between the stalkers and the ward. I think those three elements combined are the things that kind of turn me off the game as I play. Where, like, I'm having a good time, I'm finding the stealth mechanics interesting, the combat interesting, the exploration interesting. Hell, even some of the 3D platforming is not bad, which you can't say about every game. I mean, it's no Dying Light, but, like, it's at least interesting. But when I'm crossing country over land, and I gotta go a kilometer each way with extremely limited sprint options, I don't know, it's annoying. That said, I know they added mods, and I haven't looked through them because I'm trying to beat this vanilla. I'd like to get the actual game experience before I start fucking with it. But, I have the strong inclination that there will be added weight mods, infinite sprint mods, and improved flashlight mods in my future playthroughs of this game. And fast travel from anywhere, if that's a mod. Like, to be able to select a base and just travel to it would be so nice. And I do understand that that is antithetical to the game in some ways. In that it's supposed to be a dangerous, hostile territory that you have to decide whether you're willing to risk things to cross. And even more so when you're weighed down. Like, I get that that's all aspects of the gameplay design coming together. And I don't hate that. But especially given the length of the game, I think they start to wear on you in a way that is not necessarily contributive to the experience. Not necessarily positively contributive to the experience. Somebody's pissed at somebody, and I'm not clear who. Usually it's me, but I don't see any gunfire coming my way. Though the compass is certainly indicating red. Yeah, I was pretty sure there were, the glass anomalies on this bridge. Which, like, don't hurt me that much, and the bleed goes away pretty quick, but also I try not to, like, actively do really dumb shit constantly. Don't always work out, but, you know. Okay. By the way, pro tip, never do that to your gun. Especially if it's scoped and you want it to hold a 0. If you gotta smack a board, use like a hammer. Right tool for the job kind of deal. Okay. Anything else of note prior to... probably do the main mission before I hit the stash. That way I can decide whether I've got enough weight to fuck around with. God, Xanadu is such a fun, happy musical going behind my head. It is such an interesting mix with the tone of this game. I don't even hate it, it's just weird. Pretty sure I got in a gunfight here early on in the game. Got my ass kicked, had to run away. Oh, that's right. And did I determine... I picked up the optional objective last run. But that's still not, showing as a thing I need to do.
Коли вже ти заспокоїсь?
Сталкер повернувся.
Аспіранте, ти що?
Забирай. При собі так.
Це
Все одно там нічого цікавого. Скільки разів я казав тобі, аспіранте? Якщо вже у мене нічого не...
Фауст склався. Як не чув? Під'єднався до мережі X, повернув моноліт і влаштував масову бійню по всій зоні.
так він ваш проект? І це ви ці здібності інкорпорували?
Тихо! Я знав, що зробив все правильно. Отже, ця купка старих пердунів у капсулах не кинула мої дослідження. Під'єднати його до моноліту – це ж свого роду геніальне рішення.
Hey man, you wanna take this collar out of my inventory
Я
so I
казав,
don't...
що створити справу
Jesus,
так.
fuck.
Зараз він вибирає не те,
Мост? Пояс...
вчені проєкт офіційний. Для цього
Для чого?
мутанти вийшли надто
Get no
непередбачувані. Повідець працював над грубими інструментами.
Oh,
Але я
bioweapons,
вважав,
that always goes
їхні
well.
всі здібності.
І хто тепер?
Ми прищепили йому здібності. Подумай сам. Немає ні проєкту X. Думаю, моноліт.
Я знайшов.
Ти ж тепер
Через нього загинуло
Yeah,
багато людей.
yes, I'm gonna kill him,
до
asshole.
хороших. Ось хай хороші. Ти такий самий дурень, як і я. Якщо думаєш, що можеш щось виправити, іди.
Can I talk to you separately? I want to give you
Я
this
допоміг
fucking
тобі
collar.
знайти
Okay, that's cool, because the collar is marked
Дякую за документи. Це скарб, вартий.
cool. Because the collar is marked as a quest item, which means I can't get rid of the fucking thing. Cool, 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 cool. Oh, this is, the, like, best detector in the game, as I recall. Oh, right, I can't pull out weapons in here. And the detector counts for some reason. Any more vodka? Okay. I'd have taken it just to sell it. This fucking asshole's mad about me killing Faust. Like, come on, man. I would think we'd be past that. Yeah, the Velos detector is supposed to be, like, the most accurate one. Though, honestly, the bear detector is really fucking good. Where am my main mission at? Back in Rostock. What if instead of that, I started gathering stuff till I was overloaded? Oh, and it shows anomalies too, which is also quite handy. I'll hold on to the bear detector though, because I am definitely a fan of that. Oh, this coffee is very good. I was annoyed the other day for a very stupid reason. Is that an enemy locator? That'd be fucking amazing. Or a corpse locator. Huh. I'm in hostile territory, but that lines up with the X. Oh, it's a stash detector. I see. Said the blind man. To his deaf wife. That joke's gotta be old enough that kids these days haven't heard it, right? Like, it's funny again because nobody knows the joke. Despite it being extremely oversaturated by old people when I was younger. Okay. Counterpoint. Where, though, can a guy get an entrance? Does this detector detect secret entrances? That would be fucking sweet. Military tunnel. I'm gonna assume that I can enter from over there. Also, somebody knows where I am, and I don't know who it is. I will say I'm having a good time with Stalker 2, but I would like to wrap it up soonish. If only to, you know, do something new on the channel. And I do recognize that variety is, like, the slowest way to grow a channel. But I also enjoy variety, and frankly, I have ADHD in the, like, name of the stream, so anybody who was expecting anything other than variety is probably not paying attention. Ow. Snorks. Well, got my stash. Blueprint. Protective coating. I did look up where to find the blueprint for my... what else is there? I did look up where to find the blueprint for the camel hydration system in my armor, but it is in an area that I, as far as I know, can't go yet. The cooling towers, I believe, are locked off to me, at least for the moment. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure I tried earlier in the game to go over there and had no success. Oh, an artifact. Mold. So the red is an artifact. Understood. Copy. Yakuvam. Okay. Makes more sense than detecting stashes. That would be a little weird. Not that I hate it, just a little weird. Okay. And what else do we have in the area? I believe we were headed down to the burnt forest. Mostly because I wanted to explore the area. I just found it earlier. Unfortunately, I also found that the local base is controlled by the Ward. And without a, you know, Far Cry-esque faction swapping system of, like, taking control of enemy bases, can't really do much about that. I did try to kill a bunch of them, and I eventually got surrounded and taken out, but... would be nice if there was, like, a, you know, take over enemy bases kind of thing. Install your preferred faction in the zone. Though I admit that wouldn't make a ton of sense in the case of the Ward, given that they are actively trying to eliminate the zone. Okay, that's really cool. Not only does it show you where anomalies are, it shows you what kind of anomalies are there. Okay. Did I mention I fucking hate dogs in this game? Do we have any further commentary? Pretty sure I hear another dog, but... So yeah, the Velas detector is pretty cool. The only thing I'll say is I could probably make do with the bear detector until the end of the game. Like, I find the bear detector is excellent. I find, obviously, the echo detector is designed to be shitty. Like, it's the first one, you're supposed to get rid of it in favor of something else. But the Hilka detector kind of has its same problem. Like, its enhanced range is nice, but the fact that you get no directionality with that range means that I find the bear detector broadly more applicable, even if I like the range of the Hilka detector. Let's just chuck some vodka and snag the stash. Absolutely no idea what I just grabbed. And oh boy, am I about to be hammered. Kill someone through cover while drunk, I believe was one of the achievements. Okay. Apparently none of that counted, but seemed like a good opportunity given that I had to be drunk anyway. Got a pistol or tactical pistol suppressor. Sniper rifle suppressor! Fuck yes! I wish it was the other kind of sniper rifle suppressor, because there's another one, but I think it doesn't come up until Pripyat. That can go on, like, the, Mark 14, or the M14, and the, fucking, whatever they're calling the Remington 700 in this game. The bolt-action sniper rifle chambered in 7.62 by 51. The NATO sniper as opposed to the Comblock sniper. Okay. Oh, actually, let's hit that first. People still something? Okay. Pardon me, I'm removing the eye from your friend. Okay. Okay.
Сука, як же боляче. Перед очима пливеться.
I'll be honest, I caught that the first word was bitch and didn't catch much after that.
Я в підвалі.
It sounds like someone's not having a good time. Okay. I gotta say, the little sliding mechanism that's a part of this feels like a needless single point of failure. Like, you know, the more moving parts you have, the more places can go wrong. That's why cars are broadly kind of a pain in the ass to maintain. Because when you have that many moving parts all put under constant demand for various reasons, shit tends to break. So, with this, you know, neat experimental detector that you know is going out in the field, I would think you would build in as few single points of failure as possible. Okay. I'm getting the impression shit didn't go so good here. Volvokork stash. Sorry, I gotta double check. I was looking at this location earlier on the map, and I don't remember the specific reason that I decided it was worth investigating. I know there was an artifact here, but there was something else, and I don't remember what that was. Let's see, we are... Okay, there's a random artifact and a high-capacity Integral A magazine. I don't actually care about the high-capacity Integral A magazine, because I have two of those and I don't actually use the gun. That said, I would like the artifact. Let me zoom in a little closer. That's particularly, it's on the southeast end. So let's see if we can't get over that way. Balls. Heard the click. I'd be so dead in this world. Like, I'm physically disabled, so, you know, hobbling around on the crutch wouldn't, or the cane, rather, wouldn't do me much good. But even if I survived all that shit, like, I would trip so many fucking wires by accident. Added to that, like, Skiff carries 2 primaries and a sidearm. I can shoot one-handed, because the other one needs to be on the cane, so, like, limits my range a bit. I could carry a rifle, but I would definitely need time to set it up if I was going to use it. Fortunately, this is not reflective of reality. The only crazy, violent fuckers running around Ukraine at the moment are Russians or guys that are there to kill Russians. Okay, I'm supposedly in the right area for it. But I also know the artifacts move around some. So where it's marked on this map and where it is are not necessarily the same thing. And it's supposed to be random, right? So it's not like, yeah, it's not anything in particular I need to keep an eye out for. Yeah, I get it. Okay, well, I have no idea where it's supposed to be if it is here. Well, apparently there's a stash here, though. Makes me inclined to hang around and check it out. Yep. Actually, would prefer to get a fucking random artifact. That would be sweet, but no such luck. Let's see. Ooh, unique 1911 is in the zone, which means that it was added when the 1911 itself was added in patch 1.5. And blueprint for elimination system for poisonous substances for the cuirass exoskeleton. I have none of the exoskeleton armors thus far, I don't think. I think those are mostly up north in Pripyat and the associated environs. Okay, if I continue in the Burnt Forest, can I head back to the lesser zone from there, or no? That sounded broadly hostile. Okay, I heard grenade. How good are you... Okay, not good enough to get it on the roof from where you are. That makes me feel better. Not good, because you're still being shot at, but better. Let's try something. This is an absolutely stupid idea, but fuck it. I think my shot landed above where I wanted it to. But I have a shitload of vodka and some time, so... I'm really not clear on what exactly I can and can't shoot through his cover. By the way, I'm gonna die of liver failure at the end of this. By the way, there's an achievement for shooting a grenade out of the air. Tried it a few times. No such luck. Yeah, no achievement. Shame, though it did, you know, help me lower my overall weight. Also not a thing that liquor will do. Unless the alternative's beer, I suppose. In which case, I mean, yeah, you'll get less fat drinking vodka, but also you'll die, so. Take a little while, but cirrhosis of the liver is rough. Okay. Okay. Oh. Vova Cork stash is apparently right fucking here. And was not among the stashes that I gathered. I gathered enough that I assumed that I had gotten his. And that assumption has made an ass out of me and Umption. Oh, I apologize. I went over to the map and stopped looking at the chat. Hey, what's up? Good time to come back, apparently. Hey, how's it going, this rat? Did see your comment on my YouTube video, and yes, I apologize for not getting that other video up this week. I was gonna edit it down because of the power failure at the end, but I'm not sure that video is going up necessarily. This one definitely will be, though. Okay, where was the stash? Oh, up. Failed to look up. Oh, and that's where the extended mag for the Integral A is, which is great, except that I don't use that fucking gun. I have 3 of those extended magazines. They're doing me absolutely no good. That's fine. We appreciate the effort. And we'll get rid of that marker, because I don't need it. And I believe my next location that I want to go to is... I guess I'll snag a stash on the way to this, but yes, this is where the unique 1911 is, and I would like to see how that stacks up to my current 1911. Because I'm sitting on like 450,000 coupons and would be more than happy to upgrade it. Because I'm a fan of the 1911, especially compared to the previous pistols on offer. The supposedly the full auto 9x18 pistol was like cream of the crop previous to the 1.5 patch, but so far everything I've seen suggests to me that the 1911 is the one that I want. Partially because I tend to be more partial to a Magnum than a machine pistol in most games where those are options. And I'm aware that there's a Magnum revolver, but I prefer a suppressed weapon when I can get one. Weird. Okay. So, sorry, my point was, the 1911 is the hardest hitting suppressible pistol. Which is funny, because in this game you could actually reasonably include the Nagant revolver made in 1895, which is, as far as I know, the only revolver in the world you can actually put a suppressor on. I genuinely don't know if my flashlight's on or off. Okay. Jesus. Come on. Stick your fucking head out. What are you hiding behind that I am not hitting you? Yeah, suppressed revolvers are cool as fuck. I agree. The only game that I've ever seen do it seriously was, the Metro series. Like, your basic revolver is suppressible. But generally speaking, because 99% of revolvers ever made can't be suppressed, most people don't bother including it in games, which is fair, but it's neat for those of us who know about the Nagant revolver. Oh, I'm gonna try and shoot this guy through the crate while drunk, just because it's an achievement and I want to. Okay, apparently I can't get all the way through the crate. Shit. Yeah, fine, I'll kill him. But I want the achievement. Does it matter? Absolutely not. Do I still want it? Also, yes. Okay. Could I be accused of playing with my food a little bit? Yeah, alright, fair. Yeah, Stalker's hidden stuff. Yeah, open PDA, where are we at? Local? Oh yeah, very local. Sure. I'm sorry, this motherfucker walked around calling himself Vampire? I think I just saved him a lot of bullying by killing him. Okay. Did I like Ready or Not? Mostly yes, and I plan to return to it. I just was getting the urge to play Stalker, and so I think I probably want to finish that up before I commit a bunch of time to learning Ready or Not. Just because I find that when I'm jumping back and forth between games, I tend to get the control schemes mixed up in my head, especially if they're both, like, first-person shooters. It's easier if it's something like Assassin's Creed and a first-person shooter where, like, it's very visually different, so the controls tend to be. But when there are a bunch of different controls for the same movements. My brain tends to get all tangled up in that. Okay, unnoticed stash, 22 meters vertically up. Can a guy get a ladder? Yes! Asking you shall receive, apparently. Ow. Nine meters. 1 meter. Right here. We have a blueprint for buckshot conversion on the revolver to put buckshot through it. That's sort of a thing. Though it wouldn't be the same buckshot, because, like, there are 410 pistols, but you try and make a 12-gauge pistol, it's gonna fucking suck. As someone who has shot a Serbu Super Shorty, which is one of the shorter shotguns in the world, it's not fun. Like, I wouldn't recommend it. A buddy of mine had one basically because he thought it was funny. So we went out and shot it, along with some more practical guns. Check the game Body Cam. Oh, I see. Sorry, I saw literally real-life physics and graphics, and I didn't see the message above that. Sorry. Body Cam. I have actually heard of that. Fucking Christ. Put my controller down. Accidental discharge. My bad. Body Cam. Alright. I feel like I've seen people talk about this, but I haven't actually... I mean, it very much looks like an updated Rainbow Six Siege. It is in early access, which I try not to buy games in early access. Okay, I'm sorry. Why is the game $33.32? What the fuck is that price? What? Also, they added a zombie game mode, because that's apparently required of first-person shooters. Yeah, it looks very good. But A, I don't tend to buy games in early access, and B, I am certain that my PC couldn't run it. And as far as I can tell, it's only on Steam at the moment. That was one of the things that made me excited about Ready or Not, was, that it was a game that I had seen on Steam and been very interested in, but I couldn't actually play it because it wasn't on the console, and it was sufficiently demanding on the hardware. But, I definitely... Jesus. I was hoping that might open a door or something. I definitely am interested in checking out a game like Body Cam. Especially, you know, the multiplayer aspects tend to be fun. I don't much care about the zombie mode, because, like, I tried that shit back in Call of Duty World at War when that came out in 2008 or whatever. And it wasn't my jam, and then I tried it again, because people were like, oh, they made it even better in Black Ops, and I'm like, I'll try it. And it was still not my jam. Which isn't to say there aren't zombie games that are my jam. For sure, I'm a big Left 4 Dead fan. You got Ready or Not for like $6, that's fucking awesome. I spent more than that, because it was just coming out on console. Yeah. Check the bodies later. Assuming I remember, which there is absolutely no guarantee of. Yeah, ready or not, I definitely want to spend more time with. I think there is an interesting game there, but I will say the command controls, at least for the single player, seem very clunky to me, and some of that may be a console thing, and some of that may be a game thing. But I suspect if I were playing with, like, 4 other people on a team, and just communicating through Discord, that would make it pretty simple. Think body cam would cost the same for you right now? That's cool. Okay. That was not the stash I was after, so hooray for me. Extra stash. With a bunch of sniper ammo, too. But yeah, body cam looks very cool. I could definitely go for checking that out, given the opportunity to do so on console. But I suspect, much like Ready or Not, it's going to be one of those where, like, early access on Steam builds a player base, gets put together into an actual, like, 1.0 release. No one goes for the command thing, by the way. Yeah, I kind of figured. Just because if you're playing with other people, you might as well not. Like, it's much easier to say than to indicate. Fuck me. Okay. Jesus. Noted. Where was I? But yeah, like, I assumed that people would not be using that in a cooperative sense. But I did at least want to try the single player out. Well, fuck. Okay, new plan. Yeah, I need to hop onto the Discord, see if there's like a looking for group section on there. I have added the Discord. I just haven't actually done anything on it. Because I would be down to hop on there with a group of people that wanted to let a rookie fuck up repeatedly. But I definitely am more inclined to that than I am to the single player, given what I've seen of the single player. Okay, where's the goddamn stash? It's, oh, right there. Okay. Couldn't look up before, can't look down now. I'm nailing it. Okay. I don't think I can cross back into the lesser zone from the burnt forest, which kinda sucks. Though, actually, it wouldn't matter, because Alicia's destroyed. So I'm gonna be trudging back somewhere. Sweet. But yeah, I'd be down for multiplayer as long as I can find a group that isn't super sweaty about it. I play games to have fun, you know? People get really fucking into that sometimes, and I'm like, relax. Right, so some of the people I met on voice comms in Rainbow Six Siege, I was like, you gotta find a different hobby. Hobbies are supposed to relax you, this one is clearly stressing you out. I also like to win, but, you know, when we don't, not a big deal. Ah, shit. I put the controller into one hand so I could drink some coffee, and then spotted the Psy zombie coming up on the side. Oh good, lightning storm. Exactly what I needed. Okay. Now, I'll say the only negative I had with Ready or Not is, like, trying to keep track of all my streaming shit while also playing a game that's sufficiently hardcore that, like, you can die to a single enemy that you didn't see coming, is a lot to keep track of, even if it's, you know... I suspect my performance suffers to some degree simply by virtue of streaming. Because I'm, you know, trying to keep track of chat and all that, too. What's the latest updates on the channel? On the channel, not much, to be perfectly honest. I need to, sit down and edit a bunch of clips together. But that's not new, I just haven't done it yet, so once I get those done, it'll be like one per day coming out on the clips channel, which I'm hoping to get some stuff done on Sunday. I'm working tomorrow, but I should be free to do some editing Sunday before the stream. And then Sunday, I'll be doing another Socratic Sunday stream, in hopes that, you know, people join and we can do a just chatting kind of thing every week. Only reason I didn't do that last week was because I was at, like, several relatives' houses that day. Yeah, see, I knew it was gonna be fucking hot. Where are you? Come on, motherfucker. Okay, that felt like a fair exchange. Oh, I don't know if you noticed. I did get a Sega 12. I found a merchant with one and bought it off stream. And then fully upgraded it. But yeah, as far as updates on the channel, the main thing is that I want to make the Socratic Sunday just chatting stream like a once-a-week thing. But otherwise, you know, variety gaming stuff. Big question is what I move on to after Stalker and some Ready or Not is, like, depending on how much I enjoy Ready or Not, it'll, adjust my priority for how much, I want to be doing Ready or Not content. And then from there I can sort of decide if I want to shift to another game at that point. Jesus. Think I got enough of them? Should do another channel for Socratic Sundays? Maybe? I know that, like, specialization is the whole thing with channels, and you should have a focus. And if it turns into another channel, I have no objection to that, but it was honestly the entire idea behind this channel in the first place. Was to have those discussions. And what I realized very quickly is if you don't actually have a viewing base, like a group of people who watches your videos, it's very hard to have a just chatting stream if there's no chat. So the reason I started playing games at all was that I was basically entertaining myself, and then I could talk with people when they showed up. But the plan all along was to do the just chatting streams as the whole thing, and I quickly had to adjust my expectations and recognize that that was not a practical idea. Good lord, what all do I have that I need to lose weight here? So many things. Okay, I guess we're just overloaded now. That's fine. But yeah, if anything, I may move some things around eventually. And it may be a thing of, like, making an ADH Discussions chatting channel, where it's two separate ones, but for now, the general idea is gonna be to do those once a week on the same channel. How do I... Do I need a key for that? Hold on, I need to check my map. Oh, I'm still... I was like, I shifted over to the, let's see, distribution substation. I'm not even seeing a locked door on the map, which is not as helpful as it could be. Okay. Oh. Is it as simple as turn on the generator? Be handy, but it usually isn't. Okay. Is it as simple as turn on 2 generators? Aha! 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 Okay, I'm seeing 3 points of contact. Oh, no. That's... Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so that's the generator going in the back door there. Okay. Interesting. So, to what end? If I follow the cable back, I assume this just goes to the generator, right? Yes. So then if I turn that off, do I garner any benefit? Or do I need to leave and figure out where that is? Well, shit. May just leave this one for now. Just closed Left 4 Dead 2 10 minutes ago. Left 4 Dead is fucking great. Left 4 Dead 2 is basically just more Left 4 Dead with melee weapons. So, both of them pretty excellent. I think, if I recall correctly, Left 4 Dead 2 was the reason I made a Steam account. Because for Christmas, a number of years ago, before I even had a PC that could play it, they were giving away Left 4 Dead 2 on Steam. And so knowing that I couldn't play it, but that I eventually wanted to, I went ahead and made a Steam account on the Mac that I was using at the time. And got the free game added to my library. And then when I got a PC years later, I actually played the thing, which was great, because Left 4 Dead 2 is a great game, but wouldn't have even had the account if not for that free Christmas giveaway. Okay, for now, we ignore this and head for the pistol, and then make our slow trudge across the land. Because I'm badly overloaded. Yeah, Left 4 Dead 2, phenomenal game, caused a very stupid controversy in Australia. Where the video game laws at the time didn't have an 18 plus rating, like 15 plus was the highest it went. So they were like, the game is too adult, but also we don't have an adult rating. Just downloaded the cracked version. Yeah, okay, fair. But at the time, Australia didn't have an 18 plus rating. And so they were like, this video game is too adult for children. We will not rate it because it's too adult. Even though it's our own fucking fault that we don't have an adult rating. And that was part of the controversy, along with, I don't remember what the other one was that caused some fucking moral panic. But there was some other game that was, like, too hardcore for Australia, and they finally got an 18+ rating down there because of it. It was a very stupid controversy. Especially watching from the US, where we'd had that same argument just 10 years earlier. Well, probably 15 years earlier by that point. And we'd all agreed that it was stupid, except for Jack Thompson, who is a problem anyway. Lawyer from Florida who tried to make his name getting video games banned. Whereupon we all went, hey, Jack, go find a different way to have fun. Don't make it taking away other people's fun. And also called him some less polite names. Yeah, if you ever look up Jack Thompson, he is a white-haired asshole in a Hawaiian shirt, usually holding a copy of GTA 4, which was one of the things that he tried to get banned back in the day. He was like, think of the children, and they're like, well, it's rated M for mature, so relax. How did Australia solve the whole thing? They finally gave an M18 rating. It literally the same thing Europe had done. Just allow it to be adult rated. Instead of panicking that people are blowing up zombies. The Australian version's fucking terrible, too. Like, that, you can get around it now, but the released version in Australia, there were no guts, no blood. And the whole moral panic was because they were zombies, they, like, looked like people. So it was okay to do violence to robots, but not, like, zombies. And so when the, like, pipe bomb went off in... why would he care about that? I don't know. The guy was a fucking dickhead. Is the short version. The real answer is probably something to do with making his legal name, banning shit. I'm sure it had something to do with fundamental Christianity, if I had to guess. The hyper-religious are always somewhat, curious in their motives and actions. It's one of those things you can't logic someone out of a position they didn't logic themselves into. But yeah, the other thing was, like, when the pipe bomb went off, so, like, there was no explosion of red mist and guts, which, like, okay, you can live without, I suppose, but then, anytime a zombie died, it would fall to the ground, and instead of laying there in a bloody heap showing off the, valve engine, it would literally just disappear. Just fade away. It's like, what did you do to this poor game? We were here for zombie killing catharsis, and you're really killing all of the catharsis. And, like, here's my thing, right? Like, if you want to say we should protect kids from violent images that they're not ready to see, I don't disagree with you. That's why we have a fucking rating system. That, and in the US, so the government wouldn't rate stuff in video games. Because the option was that either the government step in and start rating things, or, the ESRB, or rather, the, video game companies at the time put together their own rating board, and so that was how the ESRB was created in the US, to basically avoid government oversight by putting corporate oversight in. And it's broadly a good idea, because you don't want the government censoring shit. But the ESRB has problems of its own. Even that being said, it is preferable to the government stepping in like they did in Australia, and occasionally still do for stupid reasons. But, as far as censoring art, it is marginally better to have a corporate-controlled thing than a government-controlled thing. Let's see. Rafters of the barn next to a stash backpack. Get on the rooftop, then drop to the rafters from the hole in the roof. Okay. How might one get on the roof? Can a homie get on the roof? But yeah, by and large, it's like, okay, if you're sitting here telling me, hey, I don't want my 8-year-old playing Grand Theft Auto, I'm like, yeah, I don't want your 8-year-old playing Grand Theft Auto either. They probably don't have the fundamental ability to separate reality and fiction in the same way that someone with a more developed frontal cortex does. Fair enough, like, we agree. However, the rating system says that the kids shouldn't be playing it. So what I'm gonna have to ask you to do is be a fucking parent and pay some attention to what your child is playing and has access to. Like, sorry, I think parenting's a shitty gig, that's why I don't do it. But at some level, asking the government to step in and regulate what your child is seeing is fucking dumb. Especially when you're saying, hey, I don't want my child to see this, so absolutely nobody should get to enjoy it. My respect dwindles rapidly at that point. How might a guy get on the roof? Because right now, I'm not seeing a lot of ways. Oh, fuck. For me, it's the same thing with any kind of religious thing. If a Jewish guy is like, hey, my religion says I shouldn't eat pork, so I'm gonna skip out on bacon. No problem. If the same guy steps up and says, hey, my religion says I shouldn't eat pork, so none of you are allowed to have pork. It's like, well, suddenly we have a problem, don't we? My favorite are the Christians back in the 1920s who were like, hey, the Bible says you shouldn't have alcohol. I'm like, wait a minute. Jesus' first miracle in the Bible was turning water into wine. Pretty sure the guy didn't have a problem with alcohol. Like, you're gonna have to explain that one to me. And again, if you're like, hey, I don't think people should drink, so I'm not gonna drink, fine, no problem. If you're like, I don't think people should drink, so I'm gonna try and get the government to enforce that people can't drink, it's like, well, suddenly we have a problem. Okay. If a guy wanted to get to the roof, say, how might a guy get to the roof? Is it up here? I'm not seeing how it could be, based on the description. So is it referring to this building? Well, no, because it refers to the pistol as being up in the rafters, which I'm not seeing rafters here, but there clearly are over here. Did Jesus drink alcohol, though? As far as the Bible goes, yeah. Like, he turned water into wine and then had some wine. Also, you gotta recognize at that point in history, basically everyone drank alcohol, even kids, because putting some alcohol in your local water supply, like whenever you got water from a local water supply, adding some alcohol to that meant that you probably didn't die of bacterial infections. So, basically the idea was that if that people recognized early on that if you added alcohol to water, your chance of getting, like, cholera and various other waterborne illnesses significantly decreased. So basically everybody at that point in history drank, not even necessarily for fun, but just because that was how you didn't die from local freshwater sources. And like now we have iodine tablets and know that boiling will make water safe to drink, but prior to germ theory, all they knew was if you added alcohol, you didn't get, you know, gut sick and die. Okay. I'm beginning to be frustrated by this. Whereabouts is the goddamn pistol? Oh, not even in the building I'm at. Cool, 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 cool. I marked the wrong building. That one's on me. But yeah, I mean, basically everyone at most points in history was consuming alcohol, not even, like, just recreationally, but so that they didn't fucking die. It's one of the reasons there's an actual interesting mutation as far as milk goes, where most human beings, for a very long period of time, would become lactose intolerant, like, unable to consume dairy products, milk, cheese, whatever, as they got older. Because we needed to, as babies, for milk, but as time went on, like, theoretically you didn't need milk anymore. And so most people would lose the ability to process lactase. But there is a very common mutation that survived through basically Darwinism, because as it turned out, being able to drink milk during like a cholera outbreak was very valuable, because you could get fluid in without risking getting sick and basically dying of shitting yourself to death. Cholera's a rough way to go. So it is now fairly common in some places in the world for people to not be lactose intolerant as adults, to be able to just enjoy milk, cheese, whatever else. Interestingly, China is not one of those places. So, like, most people that are adults in China are lactose intolerant, but because milk has had such an expansion in the world, and some markets want to control all markets, there has been an expansion in milk consumption in China, despite the fact that most of them don't have that mutation. And the expansion has been so significant that New Zealand has seen pretty serious ecological change just from the number of cows that are kept in New Zealand in order for dairy to be exported from New Zealand to China. So yeah, as far as Jesus drinking alcohol, almost 100%. I actually, in point of fact, it is confirmed at the Last Supper in the Bible, because he offers wine around and drinks it. The Greeks actually even had a very strong liquor that was then diluted with water and honey and consumed, though obviously because it was super hard alcohol, some people just drank that recreationally. I mean, you're bored, it's ancient Greece, what are you gonna do? They didn't have the internet, that's fair. Ow. Rude. I'm a nerd? Yeah, for sure. I studied anthropology. What do you want? Like... No, I embraced that I'm a nerd a very long time ago. That one... People occasionally use that as an insult, and I'm like, nope, that's just accurate. Long since come to accept that one. Who is fucking left? Because I'm still in combat, technically. I just want to get my pistol. Okay, you're friendly. Okay, get inside. Ideally on the roof. I'm gonna get shot because there's still someone out here who's hostile, but could have done well in engineering. Well, see, no, because I'm pretty smart, generally. I acknowledge that. I have a good talent for rote memorization, which would make me an excellent history, anthropology, or English professor. I am fucking awful at any math beyond algebra. So, engineering would not have been a good fit for me. Much as I find it conceptually interesting, I just don't have the mathematical brain to back it up. But if you wanted to discuss the Dutch influence on reproductive practices in Suriname, and why Suriname is the least ethnically mixed country in South America, I'm your guy. Because that shit's fascinating. How is it even possible? That I'm shitty at math, or that I can't do shit beyond algebra? Same problem, different answer. I'm actually not bad at math. I just am shitty at applying formulas, primarily, is my issue. And so the general problem is, like, I assume that PEMDAS is taught, parentheses, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, is taught. I possibly, I I understand a lot of stuff, but fail at math and physics. Math and physics are just languages. You're not wrong. Unfortunately, they're languages I don't speak all that well. Well, the thing is, like, physics I have a basic understanding of. I can tell you why something's going to happen based on, like, Newton's laws. And I can give you, like, a general idea of if something should or should not work. If you, like, have an idea for designing something. But I can't give you the math to back it up. So, basic projects, sure. A suspension bridge, totally get it. Anything that requires me to understand stuff beyond that sort of level, I'm probably not your guy. And to your point, it's a language. Could I learn it? Potentially. Do I have a strong interest in doing so? Not really. And not because I don't think they're worthwhile, I just tend to put my focus elsewhere as far as things that I'm interested in. And, like, I could bang my head against a wall to understand engineering eventually, but also, I don't really want to do that. Fuck. Okay, I'm not clear on how I'm supposed to get... Okay, I see. I understand. All is clear. So I open a beginner's book of calculus, I wouldn't understand it. Probably not, no. I never took pre-calculus. No, that's the thing to me, right? People talk about Isaac Newton and his understanding of gravity, and I'm like, that's fair, but the guy was so talented at math and engineering that, like, he needed more math than existed at the time and fucking invented calculus. So as much as people talk about the apple and Isaac Newton, I'm like, nah, man. That's not the important part of Isaac Newton. The 3 laws, super important, super influential to understanding basic engineering and reactions. But oh my god, the invention of calculus just because the guy ran out of math blows my mind. Oh, fuck yes. It comes with a suppressor already attached. Life is good. I was probably taught wrong. No, I wasn't taught at all. Because I didn't take calculus. Because I was like, I don't enjoy math. And my options were either take a class that I hated, or take probability and statistics, which I basically understood at a simple level to begin with. And I already didn't enjoy math. So it's not even that I was taught wrong. My brain just doesn't function in a way that is conducive to algebraic equations. Geometry I kind of got. Trigonometry kind of lost me. But yeah, if I really, really wanted to knuckle down and learn it, I probably could to a degree. But it's not a subject I enjoy, so I don't put much effort into learning it, and its applicability to my day-to-day life is pretty limited. Partially because I allow it to be. I mean, that's one of the things about living in a modern society is people specialize. And so being aware that other people have specialized in that kind of math because their brains work well at it, math is necessary, to be sure. But the thing is, you can get a lot done with math up to algebra. Like, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction are all you need for most problems. Day to day. Like, by and large, when you're operating in parentheses and exponents, you're either operating at the quantum level, like atomic, or maybe, if you're operating in a large enough space, you're operating molecular. But by and large, exponents don't come into math very often. You're generally operating on theoretical models at that point. Which is well and good, but for my day-to-day practical needs, I generally don't need anything outside of multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Parentheses does come into it on occasion. But by and large, what I need is all algebra or pre-algebra. Most of it's pre-algebra. So I firmly agree that math is necessary whether or not I enjoy it. But I don't enjoy it. So I don't spend much time wallowing in it. I use what I need. And if I'm having a problem, I can generally find how to get there. Like, I can apply formulas if I have the formula that I need for it. But if you ask me to pick out the formula that is correct for it, I'm often going to struggle. Yeah, day-to-day life. Because unless I go into a field like engineering where I need that math day-to-day, or like astrophysics, sure, you need the really advanced shit for that. Living day-to-day, I don't generally need much outside of that. So we're in agreement. Math is important. But also I don't like it. I don't even dislike anything algebra and pre-algebra. Like, I can handle all of that, no problem. And in fact, I'm pretty good at it. It's once you get to algebra and beyond that, like, I was a solid C student in math. It did not help in high school that they put my algebra class first thing every other morning, and then my algebra 2 class first thing every other morning. So before my third year of high school started, I went to them and I was like, hey, I don't care who you put me with for math, just please not first thing in the morning. Actually, my second year, I had that problem twice because it was algebra 2 first thing every other morning, and then chemistry on the other morning, so it was math both days. That's another kind of math that I fucking hate, is if you need me to find the molarity of a fucking... Can I differentiate between chemistry and algebra? Yes, I can. If you'd asked me to do it first thing in the fucking morning when I was barely conscious, maybe less so. Or can I differentiate in the mathematical sense? That, yeah, generally. No, differentiation of math. Yeah, yes. Generally, yes. But it's been a long time since I've had to. And if you start dropping math questions in my chat, I may have to ban you. Or at least time you out. Nothing personal, but bringing math here is no fun. For me. It might be fun for you. No, there are certain mathematical things and statistical anomalies that I find fascinating. No, you don't have to stop. I'm fine to talk about it. I'm just not gonna do it. But like the idea that all it takes to have a 50% chance of having...
Я так розумію, ти грохнув це.
Не наривайся, вільний.
Зате я не проти.
Чорт!
The statistical anomaly that, like, you need, I think, 23 people in a room to have a 50-50 chance that you'll have 2 people with the same birthday. And that it's something like 50 people to have over a 90% chance when there are 365 days in the year, because birthdays aren't distributed, aren't normally distributed, rather. There are peak times for births throughout the year, and so it doesn't take many people in a room before it's very likely that multiple people share a birthday. In point of fact, I was in a class my junior year of high school where 3 of us shared a birthday. Not only the day, but the year, because we were all the same age, give or take a few minutes. So that kind of math I find fascinating, but that's statistics rather than the sort of math used for engineering, generally. Unless you count social engineering, which I generally don't. Try to avoid it anyway, you know. Okay, so the Night Stalker is strictly worse than my pistol currently. Oh, and it's in 9mm? Can I make it not in 9mm? Because that's terrible. Why would you chamber the 1911 in 9mm? Who hurt you? Okay, that's Zalicia, and I still don't have a fucking merchant there, so I guess we head north to the slag heap, which will be a long journey. But fuck it, whatever. And then I guess travel to Rostock from there. Can change the gun barrels. Yeah, I know you can for some. But this is a unique variant, so I don't know if that's going to be an option. It's 1.5 clicks out, and I'm super overloaded. Love it. I know, like, for the shotguns, you can put rifled barrels in there for slugs, but then you can't use any of the other shot patterns, because it throws them all over the place. In fact, I think they just won't let you use them at all in-game, but in reality, putting rifling into a barrel of something with shot traveling down it just gives you an enormous pattern that spirals out right in front of the gun, taking a relatively short-range weapon to extremely short range. Unless you use slugs, in which case it's longer range. But yes, in answer to your point, I am very much a nerd, but I have my niches, largely history and, I was going to say literature, but storytelling, I would say, would be the other one. Because I read books, watch movies, watch TV shows, play video games, so finding good storytelling is probably the other niche that I'm a huge nerd on. Also guns, I like guns, they're a hobby. I would own a lot more of them if I had more money. Well, I'd own a few more of them. I'd be largely saving money if I had a way to do that easily at the moment, but I would probably own at least a couple more pistols. Also possibly an 03 Springfield, because I would like one of the standard issue World War II rifles from each major country that played a part. I already have a Mosin Nagant. I would like to get a Lee Enfield, a Car 98, and a I'm missing one. I guess Carcano I would like. I don't really feel a need for that one as much. But the Italians were major contributors to the war, both sides of it eventually. What's the other one off the top of my head that I'm missing? 03 Springfield, 98 Mauser, Lee Enfield. I have the Mosin. Carcano would be nice. The Mosin is not scoped. I do not have the PU Mosin, which was the scoped variant. I have a Hexbolt Mosin from 1932 that was refurbished after the war. Gorgeous piece. Kicks like a fucking mule. Do I have a lot of guns? I have 6, about to be 7, because my grandfather died and I'm inheriting one. I have 2 pistols, 3 rifles, and a shotgun. All in a gun safe like 3 feet from me. I'd definitely like to get out and shoot them more often than I do. But the expensive part of shooting is not buying a gun, it's feeding ammo through those guns and then having to buy more ammo. The gun's the easy part. Once you got that, you're good. You just need to keep feeding the damn thing. It's like a dog, but it only barks when I want it to. Always wanted to try a suppressed MP5. Oh, I would love to play around with an MP5 SD. Not play around with, get my hands on. I do have a friend who got a chance to shoot one, because she had contacts with the federal government, and I think a parent, who was going through that training. And so she got a chance to shoot that, but I have not had such a chance. I know in Las Vegas there's a couple of gun ranges that have a bunch of full auto guns that you can like rent and shoot for lots of money. But A, I don't live anywhere near Las Vegas, and B, I would prefer not to spend that money. Yeah, I don't disagree. I also was very interested in the MP5 from the mission at the beginning of Call of Duty 4. What the hell is it called? Wet Work? No, Crew Expendable. Running around the cargo ship with the suppressed MP5 is cool as fuck. Less so for the guys on the other end of the MP5, but to be fair, they were doing terrorism. Oh. I seem to have found the party. Anyway, I'm just gonna wait out the submission. But yeah, the suppressed variant of the MP5 has always been super cool to me. I may not ever own an H&K, though I will say the pistol that I really wanted from Call of Duty 4 was the USP-45. You were gonna build a ghillie suit a few months ago, but canceled it? Because it was annoying, or you didn't want anyone to think you were up to something? Because both answers seem equally valid. Because I'll tell you, I'm already prone to overheat, and I would die in a ghillie suit. Got lazy, and the Foundation military suit's kind of expensive. Yeah, that's fair. I would love to be a craftier person than I am. I operate very well in theory, but less so in practice. I can talk all day about what kind of thing would be cool to put together, and I can write about it. I write reasonably well, but when it comes down to, like, make a thing out of clothing or metal, I'm not great. I can do carpentry reasonably well, if needed, but, by and large, like, I was over at my aunt and uncle's house the other day, and they were talking about glass blowing classes that they went to, and I'm like, that's cool as hell. Like, making glass things. Oh, a lot of dead grass and trees in the desert? Yeah, I'm not shocked. I know not all of Iraq is the desert, but, I know significant portions of it also are. Would make a desert ghillie suit? Yeah. I've seen some cool variants on that idea. Oh, fuck me. No, 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 no. How about if I don't fall in a hole? Thank you very much. Fuck. Here's hoping it auto-saved. Yeah, I thought about making a ghillie suit when I was a teenager and quickly realized that I didn't love being outdoors. I would be covered in bugs in seconds. And I didn't like wearing scratchy shit, so between the three, I was like, okay, ghillie suit, cooler in concept. Okay, so it's saved partway through this. Okay, new plan. Do that again, but don't fall off the bridge. Didn't have time to check that guy on my way in. There was kind of an emission coming. Seen the old videos of Marines in Iraq? Which ones? 'Cause yes, in several cases. I admit one of the ones that stuck in my mind just because it was extremely dangerous and stupid in the way that a lot of ideas are when you're just leaving a bunch of young men with shitloads of firepower was a bunch of guys out in the desert with an old, like, broken down washing machine, and they just lobbed a grenade in, closed it, and ran away. I was like, yep, that's what happens when you give 18-year-olds fucking grenades. So yes, I have seen many videos of Iraq, both combat and non-combat. Time capsule, yeah. Still a kilometer out. Awesome. We are going to save, having successfully crossed the bridge. But yeah, in the US we talk about, should do a full ghillie setup in Stalker 2. I don't know that I've come across any ghillie suits in this game. I'm not saying there aren't any, but I don't think I've seen them if there are. Semi-auto rifle and a pistol. Well, I'm rocking that here. So I got the semi-auto rifle and the semi-auto pistol. I also have the Sega 12, just for, you know, general purposes. Sega 12 is on the list of guns that I would like to have, but absolutely do not need. Like, that is very much a just for giggles kind of gun. Because I have a Mossberg 500, like, I got a pump-action shotgun. I don't really need anything more, generally. And I work at a place that rents over-under shotguns, which are much smoother and better for shooting sporting clays. Oh, it's gonna be really expensive? Yeah, that's one of the reasons it's on my it would be amusing, but I'm not gonna buy it lists. Because there are definitely guns that I look at and I'm like, that would be very funny. I will never put together the funding because I could win the fucking lottery and still have trouble justifying buying this because it's so impractical. You ever just down a liter of vodka just to make your inventory lighter? How's the job thing going? I mean, I'm continuing to work at the gun range. Got a shift there tomorrow. But the job search, I got a no back today from an insurance company that I put in an application to, which I don't mind. As I've said before, the rejection is not what gets me. It's the being completely ignored that gets me. So I don't at all mind getting a no. Like, obviously it'd be better if I got a yes, but I don't object to getting a no. That doesn't demoralize me any. It's when I send out a ton of them and get just absolutely nothing back. And to be honest, I didn't really expect to pull that job at the insurance company. The one that I wanted, that I had heard was open, was not still open. So I applied for what I could find, and I did not qualify for that one in the way that I qualified for the one that I was looking for. So, shame to not have it, but, you know. Insofar as it goes, I wasn't really expecting a yes on that one. Don't hurt to apply, though. And to be perfectly honest, insurance was not my, field of choice, but at this point, if they're paying me, I will probably take it. Can I move to another state city where everything's cheaper? Okay, so see, that's a trap. Here's the thing, right? Maybe I could. Sure. But the pay at any place that would be cheaper is also going to be commensurately lower. Which means if I leave my high cost of living area, I probably can't come back. So, in answer to your question, yes, but. The problem with leaving a high cost of living area for a low cost of living area is, yes, all the land is cheaper, but the jobs are generally lower paying. There is a little bit of change in the wind on that if you can hold down a steady remote job these days. Like, if you want to move to a lower cost of living area and work your fully remote job, as long as you've got high-speed internet, you're fine. But most often you have to nail that sort of job down in a high cost of living area before shifting. And then if you look at the turmoil that happened where a lot of people did that and went remote in 2020 and then moved to a lower cost of living area while still pulling in their salaries, they then were thrown a curveball when the companies were like, hey, we need you to return to work. And they're like, hey, I live 5 hours away. However, all of my numbers have been very good. And most companies were able to say, you know, okay, I guess you're fine to keep working remote. But it was not uncommon for some companies that were extremely short-sighted to be like, nope, everybody has to return to work. And if you don't, you're fired. It's like, well, it ain't like you're giving people a lot of chances here. And all the data from everybody going remote basically said, yeah, they're at least as productive and significantly happier. Because they're not commuting for X number of hours a day. Which I looked at and said, I mean, fucking yeah, obviously, but people needed the hard data, and I'm like, fair enough. And then they had the hard data, and most companies were like, cool, we can keep some people working remote. Maybe you come in, you know, once or twice a month just to touch in with the team, which I get. Especially if you're, you know, working local in an area. But there were some companies that were like, nope, we need butts in seats in the office. And it's like, well, you do recognize that it costs you money to rent that office space, right? My field is limited on comment? Well, yes. So, see, I never planned to get a job in anthropology. That was never my intent. To be honest, I never intended to get a bachelor's degree to begin with. What happened was, after I got injured, I went back to college with the intention of getting my associate's degree and getting out. But while I was there, I turned 24, which I hadn't realized going in at 23, was the cutoff for FAFSA, which is the federal student aid grants, and that you can determine whether you're eligible for loans or grants. And as it turned out, 24 is when they stop considering your parents' income, and therefore they were able to look at me and go, yeah, you're broken, crippled, here's the entire Pell Grant, which meant that I was, at that point, I had another year of college left, and at the time I was doing an associate's in criminology and criminal justice, and I was like, I could still do what I planned to do and leave, but I would be leaving a lot of money on the table if I did that. So I was like, okay, the college I'm at has a guaranteed admissions program with George Mason University, which was another local university. What would I like to do there? Just like, did I want to continue criminology and criminal justice or something else? And anthropology came up, and I'm like, that's always fascinated me, but I never studied it in depth. Like, I studied a lot of history, but anthropology specifically hadn't really been one of my especially interested areas. Like, it interested me, but I hadn't studied it much. And I knew I'd find it interesting, and so I took that, because generally speaking in the US, when a company says, hey, you need to have a 4-year college degree, they don't care what the degree's in. Like, there are exceptions, obviously. Like, if you're going to medical work and you need to have gone to med school, yeah, you need to have a med school degree. But by and large, if you're going into random company to do random job, you don't need to have, like, a business-specific degree. What they want to know is if you have gone through all the basic college courses and can pass those. And the field-specific stuff they don't really care about, except that you were competent enough to complete that to an accredited college's satisfaction. And so I never really cared what the degree was in, as long as I had that piece of paper saying I had the degree at the end. Which meant that I went ahead, got my degree, and knowing that, like, if I wanted to work in anthropology, I would need a master's or a doctorate, which I was not gonna get. I took anthropology, got my bachelor's, because most people only care about the bachelor's. For an average job. Like, if I wanted to go into anthropology specifically, I needed a higher level of education than I got, but 4 years of college is what most people are looking for when they're looking to hire someone college educated. So yes, I knew going in that I was not planning to work in the field of anthropology. Because that would have been 2-3 more years of school. So what could I be hired as? Pretty much anything. I mean, shit, I could work the front desk at a hotel. I have years of customer service experience and know how to interact with a large swath of multicultural, multiracial sorts of individuals. I speak some Russian, which is occasionally handy in the area I live in, though not as useful as Spanish would have been. Hell, my German still comes into it every once in a while. But by and large, I could work whatever. Customer service focused is something I'm good at, so that would be ideal. But I could work doing just about anything. There was a time, here's one I probably haven't told on stream. There was a time, I get ketamine treatments for my leg. And usually the day after I'm a little, like, hungover from the drugs. Not, like, unsafe hungover, just, like, usually having kind of a bad day. Bit of a headache, don't feel great, and I was working at a farm at the time, that does, like, tourism, like, agritourism, and so I had told them that I wasn't gonna be feeling great, but I'd be fine, like, I could work through it. I wasn't worried about it. And so they were very kind. They were like, hey, we know you're not feeling great today. Can you, they were like, I'm sorry to ask this, but we make this lemonade on the farm that people love, but we cut the lemons in half, and each lemonade has half a lemon in it. So we sell it that way, which means that we order the lemons without stickers on them, where, like, each lemon has a sticker on it. And so we ordered that way, but we just had a shipment show up and all of them have stickers on them. So we're so sorry to ask, but could you take the stickers off these lemons? And I'm like, man, you're the one paying me. I don't care. That's fine. I just turned a podcast on and took the stickers off of 1,300 lemons. So when you ask what could I be hired as, pretty much whatever. I'm easy. I'm a go with the flow kind of dude. I am generally professional and get my work done. but by and large, I could do whatever. That isn't super physically intensive, obviously. Like, working on the farm, I'm on the cane, but I can sit to sell tickets, and then I do drive tractors for them in the evening, but I can just fold up the cane and put it in my backpack for that, so that's easy enough.
За...
And honestly, I do like the sort of odd jobs aspect of doing preseason stuff at the farm. Unfortunately, they have enough employees that they don't need me for that this year, which is disappointing, because I was kind of hoping to A, get paid for it, and B, just have a good time doing whatever needed to be done. Should probably work on my other languages, in the sense that I should learn more, or in the sense that I should use them as a springboard to get jobs, because I've thought about doing both. Yeah, for jobs. Yeah, I've put in for some, like, low-level translator positions. I've put in for several things that would make use of it, but have not really had any bites on that. But it's definitely one of the things that I put myself out there for. A, because it'd be damn good practice. It would be a good way to continue learning the languages. But if nothing else, it is a way into work.
Що? Стех? Ну?
Jesus, 21K in repairs. Okay, how about this Night Stalker? The hell is readiness? Return to combat stance. Or aim speed. I mean, sure, whatever. Thinking of work in translation. Yeah, I mean, for sure. Just speaking multiple languages, especially in the US, is not enormously common. You clearly have a solid enough grasp of English that I think you could absolutely work in translation. Well, and the nice thing is, once you have your foot in the door doing something, you have bosses that are willing to speak to your professionalism and work ethic as an employee, which makes it much easier to get jobs doing literally anything else. Okay, so I apparently cannot swap the barrel on this one. That said, it might still be worth switching to, depending on what the magazine capacity is. But yeah, like, just getting the job in the first place puts you in such a better position to get other jobs later.
Принеси що-небудь цікаве.
That's, I'm hoping, I haven't...
Прийом. Як там справи з проханням шраму?
Oh, Jesus,
Скажи,
hold
що
on.
знайшов спосіб розібратися з фантомами цього божевільного монолітівського проповідника.
Я знайшов подавлювач. Він повинен захищати мене від впливу Фауста.
Невже добра новина? Бо решта повне лайно. Фауст збирається перетворити на фанатиків усіх у зоні, і найогидніше, що має на це всі шанси. Але в нас є план. Пхни до дуги. Розповім подробиці.
Head to Duga. Cool. I can do that. Though actually, it's probably about time to start thinking of wrapping up stream here. Gonna have to work on your Arabic too. Yeah, Arabic is... You're gonna have the same problem I have, which is that Arabic and Russian are like the second most complex languages on the planet. The only language that is like significantly harder than either of them is Mandarin Chinese. So we're gonna have a bad time, basically. I'm continuing to learn Russian. You can keep working on Arabic, but whew, it ain't gonna get easy. Okay. Okay, so the damage is evened out. The only thing that's worse on the Night Stalker is handling, so I guess I'm switching to 9mm. And I may as well go with armor-piercing rounds, because sure. Okay. Yeah, I will say, I mean, I got extremely lucky. Is there a mod to convert the items to 3D? It's entirely possible. I haven't actually looked. I haven't gone that deep into the mods purely because I intend to finish this playthrough without any mods, and then if I do like a personal playthrough later, I will probably go ahead and play with mods, but I'd like to actually just do it purely vanilla for my first run through of the game. So I haven't looked that far, because it's not really enormously relevant. Okay. So 13 rounds, 12 plus 1, and go ahead and slap that sight on. Okay, so I have the unique 1911 shooting 9mm, and because I packed it, we have armor-piercing rounds. Excellent. I think that goes 30 at a time. Yeah, it's okay. That's fine. Okay. I do not mind having a little bit of extra ammo in the chamber. Or in the mag, rather. Okay. And we're at 33.8. And we can go ahead and travel our way out of here. Head to Malachite and then probably wrap up the stream.
Радий, що легко.
Можемо.
Okay. But yes, best wishes with learning Arabic, or continuing to learn Arabic. I have a cousin who's doing that, and I am so impressed by her, because Russian is super hard, and Arabic is apparently about equivalent to Russian as far as grammar goes. But then the only thing that outdoes them both is Mandarin. According to a linguist I know. And I trust her judgment on that one more than I trust mine. My cousin is, yeah. Yeah, she speaks some French, some Spanish, and is now learning Arabic. Oh, and some Italian, and is now learning Arabic. And I'm like, come on. Obviously also English. Like, that's just impressive. I'm working on like 2.5 languages. Okay. Yeah, she's also like 18. I'm like, come on. You're gonna show us all up before you're 20? That's just rude. Alright. Thank you for being here, Nusrat. I really appreciate it. Thank you to anybody watching this VOD in the future. I appreciate everyone being here. I am going to wrap up for the evening. Have a good day, night, evening, wherever you are. Stay safe. And goodbye.